What is up, everyone? My name is Carter, and I'm here with my close friend, Justin. We're super excited to dive into his Amazon business. He's doing well over $30,000 a month. He's doing this while having a full-time job, but he now has a virtual assistant helping him scale the business, so I'm super excited to interview him and dive a little deeper into it. If you are not yet subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into this interview. Justin, man, thank you so much for joining, taking this time out of your day. Could you maybe please start out by maybe introducing yourself and sharing why you got started selling on Amazon?
Yeah, my name's Justin. I've been selling for about a year and 3 months. Got started on Amazon, saw it on YouTube one day, and I was looking for other ways to make income besides, what I was currently doing. Found some on YouTube, and then rabbit trail, just kept finding more and more and more, and it looked good, and, started jumping into it and trying to figure it out.
I love it, man. And how did you start your Amazon selling journey? Because I know for everyone, it can be different. Some people start out selling used books, doing retail arbitrage. How did you start your Amazon selling journey?
Yeah, I started out RA starting, and I did a lot of RA, but I lived in California, and I didn't think about the tax at the time, so that didn't work out very well. And I went to OA, and I got a resale certificate, and started sourcing sites that accepted my resale certificate. And after that, I've been doing just OA, and now currently a little wholesale also.
I love it, man. And can you talk about maybe one of your first few products that you sold? Because I think some people, they have no idea what to sell on Amazon, and they're shocked when people tell them, it's like women's clothing or candles. Or what was one of your first products that you sold on Amazon?
It's probably everyone's favorite, some Nike socks. That's probably my first product sold, Nike socks. Found them at Kohl's, RA actually, first RA trips, and yeah, started with the socks.
I love it, man. And can you walk us through maybe what your current Amazon business model looks like? And Justin, how long have you been selling on Amazon for?
About a year and 3 months, something like that. August 2022.
Gotcha. Year and 3 months. And so what does your current Amazon business look like? What business model are you doing? Do you have any employees? Are you doing prep yourself? What does that current Amazon business structure look like?
Yeah, currently I have one employee, a VA that works with me 5 days a week. She sources probably 60% of my products, maybe even 70 currently. I don't do as much sourcing with her on board. Currently I do OA, and then I do a little bit of wholesale, probably like 20% wholesale, but 80% online arbitrage. I have a prep center we use. I do probably about 20% prep at home, 80% the prep center, just to mitigate, time, stuff coming quicker, getting it out quicker, certain items. And yeah, that's what we're doing currently, is just OA and wholesale, and yeah, just trying to build that up. And right now we're doing around 32,000 a month, and we're trying to hit that 50.
I love it, man. And how much are you having to spend per month in order to hit $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in sales? Because a lot of people always talk about, the big revenues, but, it's a direct correlation to how much money you're spending on inventory.
Yeah, to hit 32 is probably about 20 or 18 to 20, something like that. Just with check-in times, it's a little hard to really gauge exactly, but I'd say about 18 to 20 to hit that 33,000 would be probably my estimate. But we're trying to get that spend up to probably about 25 to 30,000 to hit that $50,000 goal.
Yes, sir. I'm excited to see you accomplish that. And let's walk it back to the beginning of that Amazon selling journey again, Justin, because there's a lot of people watching this interview, and maybe they're new Amazon sellers, or maybe they want to get started selling on Amazon. What's maybe one mistake that you made early on in your Amazon career that you learned from and that you don't mind sharing with someone so that they can maybe avoid making that same mistake?
Yeah, my main one is probably not understanding ungating. I bought products and I didn't get the concept of it 100%. So I was stuck with a lot of products that I had to try to ungate, and some I couldn't because I just didn't have the right kind of invoices to have the right information for it. So I would definitely look into ungating how it works before you go deep on a product that you're not able to sell. And that was my issue. I went a little too deep on something that I wasn't able to sell.
And how did you learn more about ungating? Did you watch some YouTube videos? Did you just learn it over time? Are there any websites you recommend people check out to get ungated?
Yeah, so I joined a couple of Discord communities and just asking in Discord, to be honest, asking and getting responses fairly quick. And that kind of solved probably about majority of my issues in my whole journey.
Got it. I love that, man. And as you know, a big topic of my YouTube channel is Amazon virtual assistants. And I know right now you've been working with your current virtual assistant for how long now?
About 3 months, actually. About 3 months. And like next week, I think.
I love it, man. So 3 months. And this is a question I don't ask people enough, but what is it like working with someone who lives on the other side of the world? You currently live where, Justin?
I live in Oregon.
You live in Oregon. Now, your virtual assistant lives where?
In the Philippines.
in the Philippines, which is like on the other side of the world, different time zones. So how has that been working with someone that lives on the other side of the world?
It's been interesting. A lot of different kind of cultural stuff, a lot of but the same, a lot of stuff that's really similar also. Just very, I wouldn't expect it. A lot of similar interests, a lot of similar topics, like things we're interested in. Yeah, very similar and also very different at the same time, which is nice because it's, I would expect it to be completely different. We would be different in every way, like not really maybe meshed really 100%, but it hasn't been like that at all. We've been very meshable and learning from each other and stuff. It's been great.
I love it. And do you mind maybe sharing what all you currently have your virtual assistant doing? I know some people like them doing like only product research. Some people have them doing admin work. What currently do you have your virtual assistant doing for your Amazon business?
Yeah, she's doing product research probably 70% of the time. After that, she manages all our out of stocks. She manages all our replenishable items that we want to continuously replenish, like make sure we don't run out of stock of them. And she also manages all our tracking of orders.
I love it, man. And how do you manage a virtual assistant? And have you ever managed an employee before you brought on this virtual assistant?
Yeah, I have managed in other companies before, employees, but I've never managed anyone that I wasn't seeing face to face every day. So that's a little different. But yeah, the main key is communication. I say I communicate with her, I don't know, multiple times throughout a day. Just constant communication has been great. Any questions, we ask each other back and forth, get quick answers. If we don't, and the next person's available to answer, they answer. But communication has been like key. I think if we didn't communicate like we did, it wouldn't work like it is.
I think you're spot on there. That's one thing I tell people, like, if you bring on a virtual assistant, like, the most important thing you can do is communicate. Like, every single lead that they provide, you need to communicate. If it was a good lead, share why it was a good lead so that they can go out and do more. If it was a not so good lead or you weren't a super big fan of that brand, like, let the virtual assistant know so that they can learn from that mistake or that bad lead so that they don't make it again. What are a few tips that you have in terms of communication? How are you getting in contact with your virtual assistant? How do you like to teach them? Do you mind kind of diving a little deeper into that?
Yeah. So the way we teach, all right, I do weekly meetings and I go over a lot of stuff in the weekly meetings. I'll go over like the top things we've had issues with or that we did good at. So like we had a really good product, like we brought in a new brand, let's say, and it worked really well. I was like, hey, let's look at this brand. I'll discuss and be like, hey, it was a good lead. This is why it was a good lead. And this is why we should continuously try to find these kind of leads in this brand. Or the vice versa. If it was a bad one, say, hey, this is what happened after we sold it. Now we have the data, what happened. Let's review what we could have done different. Let's look at the chart and see what maybe we missed something from when we first bought it. We'll do that on a weekly basis, and then daily we'll communicate too. So if there's any questions right away, she'll message me, hey, I saw in the feedback that you had an issue with this or that, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's talk about it. We'll hop on a call, so we'll actually let's talk to each other on WhatsApp. So we'll call each other or we'll message each other depending how in depth the issue is. Yeah, that's basically what we do. Just weekly meetings, and then we have every day we talk basically through messaging or through vocal messages or vocal calls, one or the other.
I love it, man. And I know we've been working together in the VA Fast Lane. We helped place that virtual assistant into your business. At what point in your Amazon business did you think that maybe a next great step would be adding a virtual assistant?
Yeah, so I tried it out actually about 6 months ago and it didn't work out well, me doing it myself. I had some trouble. That's why I reached out to you initially. I did have trouble myself. So I saw the potential and the need of it probably months ago, but I just couldn't execute myself the correct way. That's why I reached out to you and you helped me execute that.
Exactly. And there's a lot of people that obviously, they try to do it themselves, put out, job applications. What kind of issues were you running into when you tried to, find the virtual assistant yourself?
Yeah, I went through about 4 of them. It was communication. I had ones that I just didn't have communication. No responses. A response was just yes, sir, no, sir. So it was kind of like, I don't know if they're really understanding or not. So I'd ask more questions, just be yes, sir, no, sir. Communication, I would say. Every VA I've had just the communication, just I can't get a hold of them or they're just giving me yes or no, sir answers and they're not really learning from it and their leads will show that over time. So over the month, they'll be like, okay, obviously they're not listening or they're not understanding and they're not asking the questions. And I'm just getting that communication, I'd say. Like I said, my current VA has been great communication.
And what do you think makes your current virtual assistant stand out from, the 3 or 4 VAs that you tried to work with in the past?
Honestly, I think your program helps a lot with the weekly calls she has. I think that does great because every time she'll call me or message me and be like, this is what we went over. She'll send me like a paragraphs about it. She'll talk to me like a vocal or on the webcam about it. And she'll show me things that she learned and like some things honestly I didn't know. So like I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't even think about doing that. So like that's great. That's something now I have in like my tool belt to use sourcing myself also. So I think that helps a lot.
Awesome.
That she's teaching you guys are teaching her things I personally didn't know.
I love that. Yeah, there's always so much to learn, and when you're able to hop on those calls and be able to learn something new and then they get to bring it to your business. That's kind of the beauty of passing on knowledge and information. What would you say to someone that, Justin, maybe they want to scale their Amazon business, maybe they have a full-time job, or they're a stay-at-home mother, or they're just busy and they think that a virtual assistant is maybe a next good step, but they're kind of on the fence about it. What would you say to someone that's in that position?
Yeah, I would look at your business, at your bottlenecks. And if your bottleneck is time, I'm definitely looking at, mitigating that by getting a virtual assistant. And I'm willing to invest in yourself. You need to be able to invest in your business and yourself. And you got to take that risk sometimes to invest to see the results you want. So I would definitely invest in yourself. Look at your business. If time's a factor that's holding you back, obviously you need some help with that. I would outsource that and reach out for help.
I love it, man. Thanks for breaking that down. And what are some goals that you have with your business going forward? I know that, you get to the point where you're starting to hit some record months. What goals or things are you trying to do to really take the business to the next level?
Yeah, so I think my long-term goal would be 60 to 70K a month revenue. I think that'd be long-term. I think my short-term goal by end of year, probably end of December, is 50K revenue. Yeah, and then what we're working towards that is just basically spending more, sourcing or qualifying better leads that have more velocity, have better ROI, and just basically spending more, to be honest. Spending more and qualifying leads better are two keys. And what we're going to do is just work harder on sourcing the right products, ones that actually we have data on in the past data, so replenishables are out of stocks, making sure we don't get out of stock. So try to mitigate that by doing the replenishables before they go out of stock. That has been one of my bottlenecks is wait until they go out of stock and then try to restock them. So something we're trying to work on better to hit those goals.
I agree, definitely. And right now you currently you're doing this while having a full-time job. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Do you mind talking about how you're able to balance running an Amazon business while also having a full-time job? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this that are probably in the same situation.
It was hard myself, doing it myself. It was hard. It was tough. Having help now has made it a lot easier, but my main thing is just staying consistent, willing to put in the hours. So, when you get home from work, working those 9 hours, 8 hours, you don't feel like doing more work, no one does, but you have to be committed and you have to be like, hey, this is what's going to happen. And you got to think of the end result. This is what I want. If you want to go full time on Amazon, you have to put in the effort to go full time. So basically what I do is just work 9 to 5, come home, go through the leads, purchase leads, and then basically just go through any information I need to, any back end stuff. And yeah, that's been my day, just be able to put in the work.
I love it, man. And are you doing any merchant fulfilled right now or plan to do any in the future? I know this is a big topic being thrown around this time of year.
Yeah, I plan on doing probably starting December 1st, 2nd, somewhere in the beginning of December. Probably doing some just basically light items that are light, have the shipping rates pretty low on them. But I do plan on implementing that. Probably don't know how much yet, but I do plan to implement it, bring it into the business in December.
I love it, man. And let's say that someone's watching this video and they want to get to your point where they can do $30,000 a month on Amazon while also having a full-time job. But right now they're stuck at maybe $5,000, $10,000 per month. What's your biggest tip or piece of advice to really allow them to scale to that next level of sales?
Yeah, I would say definitely networking helped me a lot. Just being able to ask questions and, learn from other people that have made mistakes that I made and how they've overcome those mistakes. Networking was key. Putting in the time is key. And then I'd say the next one would be talking to you, reaching out to you, Carter, and getting some assistance, outsourcing it, because you're going to get stagnant if you don't have help. It's just how it works. You need help. Any business in the world needs help. So you need more people, more time.
I agree. I appreciate that. And you mentioned networking. This is something that I really try to push hard on my channel. How can someone network better? That's kind of a strange question, but how can someone that maybe sells on Amazon, how can they start networking with other Amazon sellers?
Just reach out and ask. It's a big fear of, talking to people. I know a lot of people have that fear. I personally have that fear sometimes, sending a message out and oh, they're going to say something, they're not going to like it, they're not going to respond, or whatever fear you have of it. Just reaching out and taking that risk. It's just a person like you, just reaching out basically. I'd say I'm not the best at it yet, but I'm definitely getting better.
Yeah, I think you only get better at it. And networking has been huge for my Amazon business. I get to connect with sellers of all different levels, bigger than me, smaller than me, same level as me. They're able to share great tips, advice, what prep centers they use, their journey with VAs, whatever it might be. Or am I always able to, try to provide value when I can? And then also when they have something to teach, open my ears so that I can listen. So Justin, a lot of people, they are, first maybe starting out their online arbitrage journey and they're trying to analyze a product. What does your current product criteria look like? What are you looking for? Your ROI threshold, profit per unit. What does a good product look like to you, Justin?
Yeah, this time of year it's a little bit different for me. I look for lower BSR. I'm looking for really low BSRs. ROI, I'm willing to take a little bit of an ROI cut, so down. Usually at like 25% minimum ROI. I'm willing to go down to like 20% this time of year for velocity. But yeah, normally I'd say anything under 100K BSR is what I look for in general. 25% ROI. I look for $250 profit back, and then yeah, that's basically it for the criteria. Just pretty straightforward on that. And units per month. I want to sell at least 5 to 10 units per month of it, minimum. But this time of year, like I said, I'm going lower BSR, lower ROI, just because of the velocities. It's insane to not try to pump out as much as possible.
Exactly. I think you're spot on there. And what does your software setup look like? I think a lot of people, they've got Keepa or maybe SellerAmp, but, they don't have a repricer or they don't know how to track their numbers. Can you kind of, walk us through your current software setup for your business?
Yeah, currently I have Keepa. I have SellerAmp that I use. I use Inventory Lab for all my expenses and keeping track of all the data. And I use BeCool for repricing. That's all my software I have currently. Just the 4.
And yeah, that's the key 4. So if you're not using one of those, definitely check them out. So Justin, man, I know you're part of the VA Fastlane program. We helped place Megan, your virtual assistant, into your Amazon business. And like you said, it's been going extremely well. For someone out there that's maybe interested in potentially joining the VA Fastlane, but they're on the fence, what would you say to that person?
I would say look at your numbers. You're going to need the help if you're at a certain point, and then be willing to invest in your business and yourself. If you're not going to invest in your business and self, you're just not going to grow, just like any business. Definitely look at their numbers, though, I'd say.
I agree. I think you're spot on there. So if you guys are interested in speaking with me to see if you are a good fit for the VA Fastlane, to have a VA placed into your business, I'll have a link below where you can book a call with me directly. I'll also have my Instagram. So if you have any questions for me about the VA Fastlane, virtual assistants, or just Amazon selling in general, you can follow and ask questions there. So check that out. Justin, man, where can people learn more about you if they want to follow your Amazon journey, or maybe they have questions? Do you have any social medias they can reach out to you on?
Yeah, I'm on Discord and Instagram at FBA for Pay.
Let's do it, man. I'm going to go ahead and have Justin's Instagram link below at the top of the description. Y'all go give him a follow, show him some love. I'm sure if you have any questions, slide in his DMs. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to help answer any questions y'all have. If you guys have any questions regarding anything Justin went over in this interview video, comment those below. I'm sure him and myself would also be more than happy to answer any questions y'all have. If you are not yet subscribe to the channel. Justin, man, thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you all in the next video. Peace, everyone.